What's new, crew? If you're new, my name's Cassandra. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Vlogmas. Today we are talking about strictly some Christmas morning breakfasts. If you are like me and you are responsible for hosting Christmas, it can be a little stressful to think about feeding your family breakfast, still being present to open gifts and do all those things with your kids and your family, enjoying that time, but also wanting something to be quick, easy, simple, and something that's gonna hold you over until the next meal for your big hosting party, right? Easy cleanup, all those things are really important. So I decided this year I'm going to do some make ahead Christmas morning breakfasts and get them in the freezer, so I have that freezer meal ready to go. On Christmas Eve, I will pull it out of the freezer, put it in my refrigerator, and then pop it in the oven the minute we get up in the morning to open presents. That way, while we're opening presents Christmas morning, the breakfast can be cooking. As soon as everything's ready, we can eat breakfast really quick. It'll be a really easy cleanup, and then I can move on to getting everybody ready and finishing off the rest of our Christmas lunch slash dinner that we do. So I have my Pinterest pulled up in front of me here. I will have my Pinterest linked down below for you guys if you want to find any of these meals. I will do my absolute best to link these individually for you. There are also a ton of different variations we're going to be talking about today, so if you would like the idea but you want to switch to variation, that would also be a really good way to do it. So what I'm doing today is picking basically 3 of them I want to make. We're going to be talking about all the different options, giving you some ideas, giving me some ideas, but as I'm going through this, I'm going to pick 3 of them that I want to go ahead and make for myself to have throughout the holidays, 1 for Christmas morning like we've talked about, and also to have 1 or 2 other ones to have maybe like Christmas Eve, or just for when all of our kids are home during Christmas break. You want to maybe throw a really nice meal in the oven, spend it hanging out with the kids, making Christmas cookies, whatever it is, just to have some backup meals in the freezer as well, because why the heck not? So let's go ahead and talk about some things. I'm going to do my best to pop pictures up here so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about, but like I said, things will be linked down below for you guys. The first one I have pinned is an easy bacon and spinach quiche. Quiche are fantastic if you are wanting to cheat like I do with my pie crust. I love to buy the pie crust from Aldi that already come in the little like tin, so that you have your thing that you're gonna bake it in. You also are getting your pie crust, and they come in a pack of 2, so you can make 2 different variations. 1 quiche might not be enough for your family for breakfast if you have older kids or a large family like myself, or a family of 6. So you could do 2, or if you really wanted and you're hosting, you could do 1 as a breakfast and then 1 as a side dish that you're having for your Christmas meal as well. Last year I did that. We made a ham and broccoli cheese quiche. It was delicious. My family really liked that, so you have that for an option as well. But you can get really creative with what you want to put in your quiche, right? You can put in potatoes and peppers and onions and sausage and bacon and ham. You do whatever you wanted. You could just do a meat lovers if you really wanted to, which is probably what my family would prefer. Do bacon and ham and pork sausage, like all of the things would be really, really great. So you have a lot of options to mix it up, and a quiche would be great. They freeze beautifully. I bake mine before I freeze them, put them in the freezer, and they bake really quick in the oven, probably about 30-35 minutes. So depending on how fast your kids are gonna rip into their Christmas presents, it might be perfect timing. So something definitely to consider, and something that I have very high on my list because I know that we really staying kind of right on that quiche theme. You can do the breakfast casserole kind of route here, which is what you guys tell me I need to do all the time with all our farm fresh eggs. So I've been looking into some different casserole recipes and different things. So of course you have pretty much whatever you want to throw in that quiche, you could throw in a casserole. So essentially a quiche minus the pie crust. So if you wanted to do it that way, you definitely could. Bacon, ham, all of the peppers, the potatoes, the onions, really anything you want. And that's what I love about breakfast casseroles, because as long as you top it with cheese, it's probably gonna be delicious. I have to mention this just because I saw it and I thought it was really different, but it's a bundt pan, bacon, egg, cheese, and brunch bread. So that was pretty cool if you wanted to give that a try. I think that might be fun also. Switch it up a little bit, and I don't know, just thought it was fun. So I pinned it and thought I would mention it. I'm gonna try to get all the savory stuff kind of together, and then we'll go back and talk about some sweet breakfasts. They also have this crescent sausage bite, kind of like pastry dough sandwich looking thing. I don't even know how I would describe it, but it looks really good. I've actually had this on my meal plan a couple of times. I've never made it. It's been a meal that we always skip over just for whatever reason. So I'm kind of leaning towards doing this just because I really wanted to try it. I also saw this overnight breakfast enchiladas. It looks kind of interesting. It's from Julie Eats and Treats, but it's an overnight breakfast. So you could make this even Christmas Eve if you didn't have a lot of freezer space or something. I suppose this is true for most of these. You could make them the night before, just prep it, put it in your refrigerator, and then just heat it in the oven or cook it in the oven the morning of. Definitely an option for you as well. You could also do an oatmeal. I have 2 oatmeals that I think I wanted to talk about here. One is a cinnamon apple baked oatmeal. Looks delicious, so delicious. I picked this one specifically because we have so many apples that we preserved over like canning season of all types. We have applesauce and apple butter, whole apples, all of those things. I just thought it was interesting. I also have a slow cooker gingerbread oatmeal, which also looks really, really good as well. I don't think gingerbread is quite up my kids' alley, but I think my husband and I would probably like this. Just something a little bit different if you maybe you don't want to do something totally like maybe you don't need a whole lot, you just want something small or something like that. Gingerbread oatmeal could be really fun. And if nothing else, these don't have to be just for Christmas morning. You could do these throughout the holiday season as well, throughout December, just as like a fun weekend breakfast or something. So I just thought that was fun. We are moving on. There are so many different breakfast casseroles, you guys. I'm seeing like an eggs Benedict casserole. You just need to go into Pinterest and look up some breakfast casseroles because there are so many. You will not be disappointed. I saw this one specifically. It's a Christmas morning French toast casserole, which looks delicious. It's from nursefrugal.com. It looks delicious. I'm kind of leaning towards doing this one. I do want to do a savory one as well, just so I have, if you're looking to do something sweeter, you can always do like a sticky bun or a cinnamon roll. Those are always a big hit. Like, you can't go wrong with anything like that. I also found a blueberry buttermilk breakfast cake, which looked really interesting, and you could definitely switch out the blueberries to whatever you had. And then one of the last things that I saw that looked really interesting were actually these breakfast sliders that I think looked really, really fun and really easy to prep as well, especially if you have like leftover rolls or anything like that, or you're gonna buy them on clearance after Thanksgiving, or maybe you have leftover ones from Thanksgiving anyways that are sitting in your freezer and need to be used up. I think those would be really fun. So I have a couple things that I'm leaning towards. I'm really leaning towards the breakfast sliders just because they look so fun and interesting. I kind of want to prep those. I also want to do something sweet. So the kids love to make cinnamon rolls with me, but I think for the cinnamon rolls that I'm going to be making, I'm going to put some of our apple butter in it, or I just made some Christmas jam or like a strawberry rhubarb jam to put in it with some cream cheese, and we'll roll them up and it'll be almost like a Danish cinnamon roll. We've done those in the past and the kids really like them, but I think it would be really fun to do it with the Christmas jam that we just made, just because it is for Christmas morning. And then there was another one that I saw, and it's a cheddar sausage muffin. So you just take the like sausage and cheese and egg and I think it's potato, and you take it and you put it in your muffin tins, and it makes these little bite-sized muffins. I think those would be really interesting. I saw someone do the same thing but with omelets, and I'm thinking about trying both of those in my mini cupcake tins and just making a ton of them and just having them in the freezer throughout the season where the kids are going to be home anyways, because you could just take a couple, pop them in the microwave for each kid that wants them or something like that. I think those would go over really, really well. So lots of things happening. I think for sure I'm probably going to do the sausage breakfast muffins just because I want to give those a try, because if they go over well, then I can see myself using them for regular school breakfast. The breakfast stuffed pastry bars, and then ooh, yeah, I want to give those sliders a go because I know that I do have everything for them, and I will make probably my own rolls to use in these slider buns. I'm really interested in doing the cinnamon rolls that we talked about, but more of like a Danish style cinnamon roll. And maybe even I'll try the Christmas morning French toast casserole. There's so many good ones, it's hard to pick and like narrow it down, but I'll probably end up seeing what I have everything for as it gets a little bit closer, or determining off of what I'm already gonna have off of my regular grocery shopping, because I try to keep the budget smaller by just using ingredients that I already have for other meals. But my freezers are really full. I just did a freezer tour if you want to see that. So whatever I have in my freezers, and then whatever I'm normally going to buy, because heading into December is probably my biggest grocery bill of the entire year, just because we do a lot of specialty things. We don't really do that throughout the rest of the year, but in December we kind of go crazy because we make so many cookies and so many candies, and then we also do like gingerbread houses with the kids. So we have a lot of extra expenses that go in to make all of the cookies and all of the treats and stuff that we do throughout the month of December. So a lot of kind of moving parts here, but a lot of really good ideas. So I'm really excited that we got to sit down and talk about all these things, kind of come up with some different things that we are looking for through the month of December, but specifically some Christmas morning like make ahead options, things that'll freeze really well, or you can make the night before, put in the refrigerator and kind of let it sit, and then it'll be ready to go for you right away in the morning. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to hang out with me and talk about some meals, and I will catch you guys in the next one.